Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gianluca Masi speaking on the behalf of the Virtual Telescope project from Rome. It is such a pleasure for me to be here tonight, sharing live no less than a very close approaching asteroids. Before we start sharing images, I want to thank all of you for being here. And as I said, I am in Rome, and the telescope I'm going to use remotely is about 100 kilometers south from Rome. That is a remote place, no one is there, so we are just enjoying fully robotic astronomy. Before we start, I still want to thank the technological partners of the Virtual Telescope project, and they are Unitron Italia Instruments, Software Bisque, C-Web, Santa Barbara Instruments Group, Plainwave Instruments and Bader Planetarium. And I also want to thank all the international media which featured this live feed, making possible for you to learn about this. And the Virtual Telescope project has been around now for 16 years, and every time something interesting pops up in the sky, we are ready to bring it to you live through the internet. We have been doing this many times now with a few millions viewers each year, just enjoying the sky this way. And I really don't want to subtract time to the opportunity we have to spot this little rock safely coming very close to the Earth, about 50% of the average lunar distance. I apologize if we started a bit later, but there were some clouds low on the horizon because this object is very low on the Italian horizon in the southwestern direction. And that said, I really want to start sharing with you no less than the telescope console. Here it is, so that I can explain what is happening. I know that some of you here are very good friends of the project, and you should recognize what is going on here. This is the console we are using to control the robotic telescope. The telescope I'm using is this one. Here it is. It is a very powerful telescope, 17 inches in diameter, so this is quite huge. And it is fully robotic, and it is able to track basically everything up there if you know the motion of the object you really want to observe. And what we see here is the software just controlling the telescope, and you can see stars there. This is a planetarium-like software, and it is just telling you which stars are above the observatory in Ceccano, Italy, I said 100 kilometers south of Rome. And here, very low on the horizon, it is where we are pointing the telescope. Please understand that this is an extreme observation, not only because we are just tracking a very close and fast-moving object like this asteroid, and I will tell you a bit more about it soon, but also because the sun just set less than 1 hour ago, so we are still in broad twilight, and this is a very raw image I can share with you right away. Let me see what the telescope is doing. Oh, here we are. Here we go, friends. So the telescope is already pointing and tracking the object, and it is the object, the asteroid 2022 HB1 is apparently moving pretty fast across the stars because it is very close, as I said, and this is why you see these long trails. They are the stars, and this is happening because the asteroid we are tracking is the sharp dot of light you can see here, my friends. This small dot of light here is our asteroid. And as you can see, it is a very small dot of light because it is also a small object. Its diameter is between 10 and 20 meters, and it has been discovered 2 days ago by my colleagues at Mount Lemmon survey in Arizona. And as soon as I realized that this one was going to come pretty close, safely pretty close, because let me say this boldly, it is not going to hit us for sure. So really there are no risks at all for us. But I just scheduled this live feed right away, as I did many times, and this small dot of light is exactly the asteroid we are tracking, observing right now. And I want to start taking a few images, if you don't mind, just to keep these images for our future purposes. Let me see if I can just change some imaging parameters. So in short, we are observing an asteroid. We know there are about 1 million asteroids in a very special region of the solar system between Mars and Jupiter, the so-called asteroid belt, and we have discovered really a lot, as I said. And there is also a small fraction of the asteroid population consisting in objects which are just coming too close to the Earth, and they are the near-Earth asteroids. I mean, their orbits are able to bring those objects in the proximity of the Earth, and of course how much close it is the important parameter here. And here we are, friends. This is a much better image, I must say, with the object we wanted to share with you. And we know about 30,000 asteroids just coming close enough to our planet, and I want to show you a very easy very easy graphic. This is not up to date, but at least you can see there are different classes of Earth approaching asteroids: the Apollos, the Aten, and the Amors, and there are also objects with orbits entirely inside the Earth of the orbit and the Earth orbit, and we know also an object which orbit is entirely inside the orbit of Venus. So just to give you an idea how intriguing and fascinating these objects are. So if an object is coming close enough, of course, to the Earth, of course it deserves attention, but I'm not telling that any asteroid just coming close enough is going to hit us. We had a collision early in March, if you remember, and it was the 5th asteroid discovered just before it collided with our planet. But of course the possibility of an asteroid to hit the Earth is a real opportunity, you know, and dinosaurs could explain this much better than me if they survived a catastrophic impact about 65 million of years ago. Just to give you an idea of what are near-Earth asteroids just classified thanks to their orbits. Back to live observing, and this small dot of light we are seeing here is just the asteroid. I mentioned it, 2022 HB1, just coming in about 2 hours, more or less 50% of the lunar distance. It would be 200,000 kilometers from us. Of course, I say very close, half of the lunar distance, but still absolutely safe, my friends. I see many friends are joining us from Bolivia, Argentina, Colombia, Mexico. I'm just speaking in English, of course, but I hope that you can enjoy this small dot of light. I'm happy that it is small, and I'm happy that while coming so close it is not going to hit us, but I find really fantastic that we can still observe this kind of objects, and we can sharing with the opportunity to share them live with our community. Again, we are sharing live via the Virtual Telescope project, the Near Earth Asteroid, as I told you, 2022 HB1. Let me take much more images, of course. Here we are. This object is more or less the size of a bus, and in fact, if I just visit the Jet Propulsion Laboratory website, the Center for Near-Earth Object Studies at JPL NASA, they are just telling us that this object has a diameter somewhere between 9 and 21 meters, while the velocity relative to the Earth at the minimum distance would be 14 kilometers per second. Again, very impressive numbers per se, but nothing to worry about. I repeat again, this is not going to hit our planet, and the minimum distance, as I told you, will be in about 3 hours by now. 3 hours, sorry, I say 2, but they are 3 by now. And our system is beautifully tracking it, as you can see from this very nice image. Let me see if I can take a much longer exposure so that we can have much longer star trails. Please try to understand this. This object is pretty close to us and it is moving pretty fast across the stars, but the stars are much more distant than the asteroid. The stars are just on the background. And this asteroid is moving pretty fast against that starry background. That said, if you ask your telescope to track the very specific apparent motion of the object, the asteroid in this case, you will see the asteroid as a sharp dot of light, but of course the stars on the background will showing very long trails, like in this case. Look how beautiful this image is, with the asteroid beautifully tracked by our very advanced technology, and we are still seeing here very long star trails. I'm always impressed by this kind of results. And I do find, as I said, all this very beautiful, and still I'm amazed after so many years that we have the opportunity to share and show this live. This is Gianluca Masi from Italy, and I am just sharing this live from Rome, while the telescope is not here with me in Rome, but it is about 100 kilometers south. So the observatory is a robot, basically. No one is there, as I told you. And it is amazing, again, that we can observe something like this from the comfort of our homes, via our mobiles, our desktop computers, whatever. So happy that everything is working beautifully, and I do plan to track this for about 15 minutes more, and we are just tracking the near Earth asteroids 2022 HB1, and let me calculate what is its distance from us at this very moment. Just doing some checks. Okay. Okay, this is, wow, this is now already pretty close, and I just want to make the conversion for you. Right now, while we are observing it, it is at about 240,000 kilometers, not far from the minimum distance, which will be in 3 hours by now, of 200,000 kilometers. About 50%, a bit more than 50% of the average lunar distance. Once again, the Virtual Telescope project is bringing to you the cosmos live. Well, it is small, I'd say about 10-20 meters, and at the distance we are speaking about 200,000 kilometers, it will be a simple mere dot of lights. Don't be surprised. Here now a satellite trails too. It is, I understand that for you it could look strange that you still see a dot of light, but these objects are very small, a few meters, and it is 50% of the lunar distance, my friends. I wish to thank all the friends from Colombia, Mexico, Venezuela, Costa Rica, USA. I'm just mentioning the countries you wrote, your own countries you wrote in the chat. And all this brought to you live via the Virtual Telescope project. This dot of light is the Asteroid 2022 HB1. Wow, sometimes it is nice to see how the asteroid combines with the star trails on the background while we are tracking its very fast speed, my friends. And I told you, the Virtual Telescope project did this kind of things many times, bringing very extreme asteroids live to the community. And if you really want to see more, by the way, we will be sharing the beautiful total lunar eclipse next 16th of May, and you are invited to subscribe our the Virtual Telescope project Facebook page if you want to be up to date. And here it is, our asteroid again, about 10-20 meters large, not very different from the object involved in the Chelyabinsk explosion. You might remember this in 2013. And all this observed via the Virtual Telescope project facility in Italy, and this is very low above the horizon. And let me see if I can still show you where we are. Here we are. Perhaps you recognize some constellation names like Orion setting. Of course, it is at least for the Italian latitude winter constellation. So now we are approaching, quickly approaching summer. Orion is going to sleep for a while, and you see the Lion, Leo constellation just south, and here it is where the 2022 HB1 asteroid is located right now, where the telescope is pointing and where we are carefully tracking, my friends. And here it is, the object. You are invited to consider the possibility to support the Virtual Telescope project if you like what we do. You know, okay. I always love how technology helps understanding what is up in the sky. And perhaps even making possible for people discovering an interest for the night sky. And by the way, tomorrow evening, we will be live again, sharing with you the beauty of the deep space, deep sky, with galaxies, nebulas, and so on, together with Astronomers Without Borders, celebrating the Global Astronomy Month. It is a full month of celebration of the beauty of the night sky, and even this event is a part of the Global Astronomy Month, my friends. I see friends just commenting that they are under the sunlight. Okay, here in Italy we just started our evening. I'm really hoping you will enjoy this experience. I understand that somewhere is also raining. This is the beauty of Mother Nature. We are never bored. Of course, we are happy that at least tonight weather has been clear here, otherwise no asteroid at all. And we are beautifully tracking the near Earth asteroid 2022 HB1 coming in less than 3 hours at a distance of 200,000 kilometers, a bit more than 50% of the average lunar distance, and right now is not far from that distance, more or less 240,000 kilometers from Earth center. And this dot of light is clear evidence, and of course here there is also an interesting artificial satellite which crossed the field of view, by the way. I'm always amazed by the many different things you can see many times. Another satellite here, the many different things you can see crossing your field of view anytime you are observing something in the sky. Happy to see so many friends connecting. And in a few minutes I will be going to close this live feed now that the object is quickly approaching the southwestern horizons, my friends. Hope that this live feed was at least enjoyable for you. I want to thank all the many friends connected, and I invite you to subscribe the Virtual Telescope Project Facebook fan page so that you can learn in real time about the upcoming events, and many things are coming. So I really suggest you to subscribe that page if you want to stay up to date with our activities, friends. How beautiful it is to spot, to spy and track such a very small dot of light with many friends from all around the globe. This small dot of light is, of course, I repeat, the asteroid. So friends, it has been a great pleasure for me to share once again the Cosmos Live via the Virtual Telescope Project. I hope that you could have some fun with this, and hopefully you will join us tomorrow evening when we will be sharing the deep space, deep sky, beauty, galaxies, nebula, star cluster and more. You are strongly invited to join us to celebrate the Global Astronomy Month, an international event organized by Astronomers Without Borders. And again, in a couple of weeks, next full moon, we will be covering the total lunar eclipse with contributions from different countries all around the globe. That's all, my friends. The Luca Masi Virtual Telescope Project is sending his best wishes and greetings to you, and I hope you will keep looking up and take care and enjoy the beauty of the cosmos where we live. Goodbye.